Today's the day, guys. We're saying goodbye to the ZR1. We are going to be saying goodbye to one of these cars, and of course it's got to be the ZR1 because that's the one that I work on and do stuff with the least. We've got a bunch of plans for the Z06. You guys kind of knew it was coming, and unfortunately it has arrived. Today is the day. We have to take the ZR1 down to storage because, yes, we are winterizing the C7 ZR1 today. It's got to go down to Blackout Tinting in Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, because I don't have room for all these cars. My Z06 is going to stay in the garage because I've got a lot of stuff planned for it over the winter time, and I need to have ready access to it, whereas the ZR1 just needs a warm place to sleep at night. So what we're going to be doing today is cleaning up the car because it is a little dusty. Got to clean it up, get it ready to go down to the shop, and then while it's down there, we're going to cover it up, winterize it, do all the winter things. So this video is going to double basically as a winterization video for your Corvette. If you guys don't know how to winterize your car, follow along here because this one will allow you to get it done correctly. So let's do it. Alright guys, so I apologize for that, but I had to get you guys a little bit because at the end of the day, I have had so many people asking me, are you going to sell the ZR1? What are you going to do with the ZR1? I know you haven't been doing a lot with it, but are you going to sell it? I want to buy it. Blah. I'm not selling the car, guys. I'm keeping the ZR1 for as long as I possibly can. Even though the Z06 is kind of the new hotness, we got to still pay homage to the OG here, and we did. So what we wanted to do was get the car out of storage, clean her up. She was in desperate need of a wash job, and she got it. We also wanted to clean up that steering wheel, replace the mud flaps, and replace the slip lobe. We got everything done on the car, and it is now getting to that point, this time of year, where I need somewhere to store the car because the snow's going to start flying soon, and she is definitely not sitting outside. So we are taking it down to Blackout Tinting, like I said, in Gibsonia. Josh, of course, is wonderful enough to let me store my car down there, and it is a heated or temperature controlled environment, so we don't have to worry about too much with the car. So like I said, I'm going to kind of clean it up a little bit because she's a little bit dirty. Well, not dirty, dusty. I'm going to just kind of wipe it down with a detail spray because it's all it really needs, and then we are going to get on our way, and we're going to talk all about the winterization and the drive down. So let's get it done. Real quickly, guys, before we go, I wanted to mention one of my good friends, Dave, over at San Diego Designs. You guys have probably heard me talk about them in the past, but he sent me a really cool care package here that I wanted to mention to you guys because it is really cool. So I'm going to go over real quickly some of the stuff that they sell. Right off the bat, one of the biggest things that they sell that I know people don't know that they sell are these here. These are the rubber isolators that go around the locating pin of your target top. These things will wear out over time, and when they do, they start to squeak or they start to deteriorate and literally just fall off the car. So instead of going to GM and spending $1 million on them, you can actually grab them from him. Now, another thing, these are interesting because if you guys haven't heard of it, there has been people in the past who've got stuck in their cars whenever the battery dies because they don't know how to open up the door. Well, now there's no excuse for that. These stickers are actually like epoxy covered, so they're real nice, high quality stuff. You could stick them on top of the latch down by the footwell. That way there is no mistaking what those are there for. Then, of course, we have the seatbelt stays. You guys have heard me talk about these before. These slide over the top of the area where the seatbelt slides into to make sure that that seatbelt does not slip out. On top of that, we've got this guy here, which is a hidden or basically hides the button for the infotainment system screen to go up and down, and it makes it look really pretty in doing it. Now, I have a similar one to this. I have the Jake logo one on my car, but still really cool looking. On top of that, we have this guy, which is one of my favorite things. I'm going to get this put on the car here very soon. This actually slides onto the handle of the target top. So the back handle that you have to pop off in order for the target top to come off, this slides on there and then has a bunch of really powerful magnets on the underside that you could stick basically whatever you want to. So it's kind of like a mount. Of course, you guys probably already know what I'm sticking to this. Going to be a camera. One of his most recent designs is this license plate holder. It's actually metal, and I believe it comes in two different colors. This one here is obviously black, and it kind of gives you the same design look of the C8. So basically it would go right here, hold your license plate, and give you those little fangs or fins sticking out on the side. If you guys are interested in any of this, like I said, check out the link in the description down below and grab some of this stuff for yourselves, because I haven't even talked about all of it. This is just scratching the surface. But anyway, if you grab any of this stuff, guys, let Dave know Horsepower Obsessed sent you. And of course, guys, before we leave, check out this clean Alcantara. I am blown away by how well this turned out. It literally looks like a brand new steering wheel. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I'll link that video right up here for you to check out, but it is absolutely incredible how brand new this thing looks now. It's good to be back in the ZR1, boys. She's a good car. What's funny is, I think I touched on this once before, but this car, I'm in sport mode right now, but even with my ZR1 lowered, I feel like this car rides better than the C8 Z06. The C8 Z06 is, believe it or not, a firmer ride than the C7 ZR1 is, even though both cars are lowered about an inch. And this C7 feels like it rides softer, or at least soaks up the bumps better. And it feels pretty much just as planted. Both cars handle very well. But yeah, I mean, the ZR1 is just, you know, the ZR1's the ZR1. Look at that freaking hood bulge, man. I'm loving it. The car's an absolute beast. I don't drive it enough. I got to do better with this. But like I said, guys, this one's going into storage for the year because, as you can tell by the trees here in Pennsylvania, it's about that time of year. It's going to start getting snowy here soon. It's only about 57 degrees today, and that temperature's dropping pretty quick for the next couple days. So it's about that time, unfortunately, but she will be coming back. Definitely stay tuned. If you're a ZR1, C7 ZR1 fan, this car is going to be on the channel a lot come springtime. So yeah, we got everything done to the car though. Like I said, we got it all cleaned up, slip low and everything put on. That was the big reason I got the car out of storage, even though it was only for a little while. So anyway, yeah, we're driving along and I don't want to necessarily get busted by him. So I'll catch you guys at Blackout Tinting in Gibsonia, and we'll go over all of the winterization tips for the car. And then that will be that. We have arrived here at Blackout Tinting. I will be taking the car right in that door right there in a second, but I just wanted to film the vitals here for a second, because one of the things we're going to want to do is air up the tires a little bit. I've put a little bit of extra air in there. You don't have to go crazy. Usually I like it to be around 33, 35 PSI while it's sitting for the winter time. If you have flat stoppers, you don't have to do this. My flat stoppers will be used with the C8 Corvette, so the ZR1, I got to air the tires up a little bit so they stay non-flat spotted basically. But to be honest with you, doing it this way that I've done it for the last, oh God, probably 10 years, I've never once pulled my car out of storage with a flat spot. So I don't think you necessarily need the flat stoppers. It's just air your tires up a little bit and you'll be good to go. Another thing is you want to have right around a half tank of gas. You don't want to actually go full tank with the Corvettes, especially the C7, because of a possible fuel sender unit issue. So the gasoline can actually start to corrode the fuel sender, and then your gas level doesn't read correctly at that point. So ideally you want to keep it around half, and depending on how long you're going to store the car, this won't be stored for too long, so I don't have to really worry about this. But if you're going to store it for more than probably 4 to 6 months, you should use some sort of fuel stabilizer in it. The company that I used to use was called Stable. I'll put an image up here on the screen and a link in the description down below. Grab that if you're going to have it sit for more than probably 4 or 5 months, because that helps make sure your fuel stays fresh. Now, mine won't sit that long. I'll have it in and out, because whenever we have a nice day here in Pennsylvania, assuming the salt's not on the roads, I will take the car out. So ultimately, air up your tires, put some fuel stable in your tank, and then we're going to go in here and I'm going to show you a little bit of the rest of the stuff you need to do. But ultimately, winterizing is not a big thing. It's not that difficult. Just want to cover all the bases here. All right, so here is where she's parked for the time being, guys. I'm going to go ahead and slap the car cover on it because last time I was down here, it does get dusty. It gets a little dusty in the environment here at Blackout Tinting because they do a lot of car stuff. So between polishing and just normal dust that happens over the period of almost a year, it's going to get a little dusty. But yeah, we always got to acknowledge Jamie, Glass City Car Nerd. This is his car. He's got another one sitting up there. It's a Bronco, but anyway, the ZR1 is going to be nestled right at home. So before we put the car cover on, again, I want to reiterate 33 to 35 PSI in the tires. Next, you'll obviously want to make sure the car is clean. Mine is very clean, so she's going to stay clean with the cover. You obviously don't want to put away a dirty car specifically because you don't want to put a car cover on a dirty car. Now, this one is clean. The tires are at 33 PSI, which is where I like to keep it, like I said, for the flat spot reasons. You want about half a tank of gas with that stable in there if you're going to leave it for more than 4 to 5 months or so. And you also want to make sure that there's nothing laying around or inside the car. So any kind of food, cookies, or anything like that, you want to make sure that that's not in there. Anything that will basically attract mice. Keep all that stuff out. Also, if you park the car, and even if it's an automatic or a stick like mine is, put it in first gear to park it or put it in park, but don't put on the e-brake. There's really no reason to have the e-brake on for that entire time. This is one of those things that just is kind of more preventative than anything, just in case something were to happen that brake got stuck to the rotor or locked up for any reason. There's really no reason to have the e-brake on for that entire amount of time, so leave the e-brake off. Car cover time. So this one is actually the official ZR1 car cover from GM, which is nice because that car's got a big freaking wing and you need a car cover that's going to handle it. And there it is. Look at that. The car cover is really awesome. It's got a pocket basically for this giant wing. It also has a pocket for the side view mirrors. Really, really a nice fit. So this thing is going to be nicely stored down here. It's not going to be all dirty and dusty the next time I come down for it. When I go to break this thing out for the year, it's going to be nice and clean, ready to go. So this is the way you want it. When you're winterizing your car, you don't want to have to mess with a bunch of stuff come spring. You want to just take off the cover and go. And here's the front, guys. Look at that. Perfect. Really nice coverage here. And of course, we got all the little ZR1 logos on there. Oh, she's taking a nap, a long nap. Winter nap. Ugh, I'm gonna miss her, but at least it's well protected this time. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. You gotta make sure the car's clean, put a cover on it, air up your tires, stable in the gas tank, half a tank of gas or less, nothing in or outside of the car that's gonna draw mice. And that's it, you're good to go. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, smash the thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content. I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a rundown, a quick reminder, basically, of how to winterize your car. I have a bunch of videos on this already. If you haven't seen those, I will link them somewhere, one of these two places. So you can check out the previous videos I've done because I've gone over some of these in greater detail, but ultimately the topics we touched on are really all you need to know for keeping your car nice for the next time you go to take it out. You obviously don't want any kind of mice or anything in there, but at the same time, having a clean car come springtime, you'll thank me later. Anyway, guys, subscribe if you haven't yet, and as always, stay obsessed.